Picture this. The stadium lights fade. The echoes of roaring crowds still ringing in the distance and behind closed doors. One of the most famous figures in sports history is facing the fight of his life, not against another team, but against time, family tension, and a heartbreaking reality he can no longer ignore. Deion Sanders, the man once called Primetime, is a legend who has turned heads on and off the field, is now confronting what he calls his last chance to coach his sons before everything changes forever. But what's really going on behind the carefully polished interviews and public smiles? Rumors are flying, fans are shocked, and whispers of bitter disagreements, sleepless nights, and even betrayal inside the family's circle have begun to surface. And then there's the wild card in all of this, Travis Hunter. The rising star Deion has mentored like his own son. Sources claim Deion gave Travis advice so raw, so brutally honest. It left Hunter shaken and questioning where his loyalty should truly lie. The family was left divided, emotions ran high. And fans are desperate to know, is Deion Sanders' legacy about to crumble under the weight of personal drama? Or is this the beginning of an even bigger fight? The cameras never capture everything, and that's where the story truly begins. Behind the glamour of press conferences and highlight reels, Deion Sanders sat in the quiet of his Colorado home, staring at the framed photos of his sons in their football jerseys. The world thought he had it all under control, but inside, he was drowning in the fear that time was slipping away. The recent health scares had shaken him more than he let on, and whispers began to spread among close friends that Deion believed he had just one last opportunity to shape his sons' future on the field. One night, as the family gathered around the dinner table, what was supposed to be a simple meal spiraled into the kind of confrontation no one expected. Cheddar, with his usual calm but determined tone, broke the silence first. "Dad, we appreciate everything, but sometimes it feels like we're living your dream, not ours." The room froze. Fans always saw them as a united front, but behind closed doors, cracks had begun to show. Deion leaned forward, his voice low but heavy. "Son, this isn't about me. This is about making sure you're prepared for a world that doesn't care about you unless you're exceptional. You think I don't see the pressure on your shoulders? I'm trying to carry some of it for you." The tension only grew when Shiloh, usually the more outspoken of the brothers, slammed his fork down and snapped. "But at what cost? We can't even breathe without hearing about how we're part of Dad's legacy. Maybe we want to write our own story." Those words cut deep. And for the first time, the legendary Primetime had no immediate comeback. Fans would be shocked to hear it. But Deion simply sat back, eyes glazed with hurt, as his sons challenged the very foundation he'd built. The situation grew even more complicated when word got out that Deion had pulled Travis Hunter aside earlier that week. What he said to the young star sent shockwaves through the locker room. Travis, Deion reportedly told him, "You're the one who can change everything. You're not just a player, you're a generational talent. But you've got to decide if you're going to stand beside this family or carve your own path. Loyalty will test you harder than any opponent." Fans interpreted those words as favoritism, and rumors began swirling that Hunter was being groomed as the son Deion never had to worry about losing. When the players gathered after practice, hushed voices filled the air. Some teammates felt betrayed, questioning whether Deion was putting Hunter on a pedestal above his own sons. One player was even overheard saying, "It's like Coach trusts Travis more than he trusts his own blood." That single comment was enough to spark a storm. And by the time the story leaked to social media, fans were divided. Half of them defended Deion, praising him for being brutally honest and shaping a future star, while the other half accused him of crossing a line that no father should cross. Back at home, the arguments continued. Cheddar confronted his father late one night, his frustration boiling over. "Why would you tell Travis something like that and not us? Do you know how it feels to hear that from outsiders instead of you?" Deion, visibly exhausted, shot back, "Because you're my sons. I thought you already knew where you stood. I thought you knew my love for you is not up for debate." The raw emotion in his voice cracked. But the damage was already done. the family dynamic began to unravel in ways no one could have predicted. Close friends of the family revealed that Deion's mother even stepped in, urging her son to be careful with his words. "You've always been a showman, Deion, but family is different. They don't need a coach all the time, they need a father." Her warning echoed in his mind. But balancing the roles of coach and father seemed almost impossible for him. Meanwhile, Travis himself found no comfort in the spotlight. The young athlete was reportedly torn, confiding in teammates that he didn't want to be the reason the Sanders family fought. "I didn't ask for this," he told one close friend. "Coach believes in me, but I never wanted to come between him and his sons. That's not who I am." Fans who caught wind of this began debating whether Travis should distance himself from the family altogether. But others argued he was caught in a situation he couldn't control. Things escalated further. During a practice session, when tensions finally boiled over, Shedder and Travis had a heated exchange on the field after a miscommunication during a drill. "Don't act like you're above the rest of us," Shedder shouted in frustration. While Travis fired back, "Don't put this on me, man. I never asked for special treatment." The coaches and teammates rushed to intervene, but the damage was clear. The team's chemistry was unraveling. And fans watching from the sidelines couldn't believe their eyes. By the end of that week, social media was ablaze. Clips of the heated arguments circulated with captions like "Prime's family falling," "Part and is Travis Hunter breaking the Sanders bond." Emotions ran high among fans, who began choosing sides in what was quickly becoming the most dramatic off-field saga in college football. Behind closed doors, Deion gathered his sons for a private talk, hoping to salvage what remained. "Listen to me," he pleaded, his voice trembling with rare vulnerability. "I don't have forever. I want to give you everything I know before it's too late. I push you because I want you ready, not because I want control. You think I'm hard on you? The world out there will be 10 times harder." But instead of soothing the wounds, his words opened new ones. Shiloh snapped back. "Then maybe the problem is you're so focused on what the world thinks that you forgot to ask us what we want." The confrontation ended with silence, the kind that cut deeper than any words. The family was left divided, unsure of how to move forward, and fans were left questioning whether the legendary bond between father and sons could survive the very pressure that once made them unstoppable. And just when it seemed the dust might settle, another twist was about to surface, one that would drag the drama into the public eye in ways no one expected. And it all began with a leaked recording, one that would change everything. The leaked recording spread like wildfire across social media, igniting a frenzy that neither Deion nor his family could contain. It was late evening when the first clip surfaced, posted by an anonymous account with the caption, "The truth about prime time's family drama." Within minutes, it was everywhere: Twitter, Instagram, even TikTok edits with dramatic music layered underneath. The audio was grainy but unmistakable. Deion's voice was heard saying, "This is my last chance to coach my boys. If they don't listen now, I might never get through to them." But what shook fans even more was the next part. "Sometimes I wonder if Travis hears me more than they do." The internet exploded. Fans were shocked, dissecting every word like detectives on a crime scene. Some accused Deion of outright favoritism, while others defended him, claiming the quote was taken out of context. But the damage was done. The family's private struggle had now been broadcast for millions to consume. And there was no hiding anymore. At the Sanders household, chaos reigned. Shedder stormed into the living room, phone in hand, his face a mix of anger and betrayal. "Dad, you said that? You really think Travis listens more than us?" Shiloh, pacing back and forth, added fuel to the fire. "You didn't just think it too, said it out loud. Now the whole world knows how you really feel." Deion, caught off guard, tried to calm them down. "That wasn't meant for the public, and it wasn't what you think. I was speaking out of frustration." But his sons weren't buying it. Travis, meanwhile, found himself thrust into the spotlight in the worst possible way. Everywhere he went, reporters shouted questions at him. "Travis, do you feel like Coach favors you over his sons? Is your relationship with the Sanders family breaking them apart?" One day after, part. One day after. Practice, overwhelmed and visibly shaken, he muttered. I never asked for this. I just want to play ball, but the cameras captured every word, twisting them into headlines that fueled the firestorm. Inside the locker room, teammates began taking sides. Some sympathized with Shetter and Shiloh, whispering that it was unfair for their father to elevate another player above them. Others rallied around Travis, arguing that he didn't deserve the backlash for words he didn't say. The atmosphere grew toxic. One player even confronted Travis directly, saying, "You might not want this drama, but you're the reason it's happening." Travis, usually composed, shot back, "I can't control what coach says. Don't put his words on me." The confrontation nearly turned physical before coaches stepped in to separate them. Fans, as always, added fuel to the fire. Some tweeted, "Prime is building Travis up while tearing his own family apart," while others wrote, "This is classic D&I, pushes everyone to their limit, even his own kids." The debate spilled into talk shows and podcasts, with analysts speculating whether the Sanders dynasty was crumbling before their eyes. Back home, tensions escalated when Deion's ex-wife and the boy's mother reportedly called him to express her anger. "This isn't coaching anymore, Deion. This is damaging. You're losing them." Those close to the family claimed the phone call left Deion shaken, pacing the house late into the night, muttering to himself about legacy and regret. Meanwhile, Shiloh began voicing thoughts that alarmed even his closest friends. In a private conversation overheard by a teammate, he said, "Maybe it's time I walk away. Maybe I transfer. Maybe I just distance myself. I can't keep living in this circus." When that rumor hit social media, fans went into a frenzy. Could one of Deion's own sons actually leave his program? The idea seemed unthinkable, but the cracks were widening, as if things weren't bad enough. Another twist came when an old rival coach weighed in publicly. In a press interview, he smirked and said, "Maybe Prime should focus on being a father before trying to be the best coach. Seems like his house isn't in order." Those words cut deeper than any defeat on the field. Deion, known for his confidence and swagger, reportedly slammed his phone down after watching the clip, his pride wounded like never before. The situation hit a boiling point during a team meeting. Deion addressed his players with fire in his voice. "I don't care what's being said out there. This is our family, our house. Nobody gets to break us apart unless we let them." But instead of uniting the room, his words only highlighted the divisions. Shetter sat with his arms crossed, refusing to make eye contact, while Shiloh leaned back with a look of defiance. Travis, caught in the middle, lowered his head, visibly uncomfortable. After the meeting, a dramatic confrontation unfolded in the hallway. Shetter cornered Travis, his voice sharp. "Do you even realize what's happening because of you?" Travis, finally snapping under the pressure, shouted back, "I didn't ask to be your dad's favorite. I never wanted this. If you've got a problem, take it up with him, not me." The argument echoed through the halls, drawing in teammates who watched in stunned silence. Emotions ran so high that one assistant coach had to physically step between them that night. Fans speculated endlessly about what was happening behind closed doors. Hashtags like #SandersFamilyDrama and #TeamTravis versus #TeamSons trended for days, with thousands of comments pouring in. Some fans urged reconciliation, while others seemed to enjoy the spectacle, calling it better than reality TV. But the true breaking point came when another recording leaked, this time from inside the team facility. The audio captured Shiloh saying, "Maybe I'm not meant to be coached by my dad. Maybe it's better if I go my own way." The words hit the internet like a bomb, sending shockwaves across the sports world. Podcasts speculated about transfer destinations. Analysts debated how it would affect Deion's career. Fans were left in disbelief. Inside the family, the fallout was catastrophic. Deion confronted his son, his voice breaking. "You can't mean that, Shiloh. After everything we've built?" But Shiloh stood firm, eyes burning with frustration. "You built it, Dad, not us. We've been living in your shadow, and I'm done." The silence that followed was unbearable. With even Cheddar looking stunned by now, emotions had boiled over into something bigger than football. It wasn't just about coaching or favoritism anymore, it was about identity, independence, and the fragile line between being a father and a leader. And just when everyone thought it couldn't get any worse, a shocking public appearance was about to turn the drama into a full-blown spectacle that no one could ignore. The shocking public appearance happened during a nationally televised post-game press conference. After a tough loss, reporters expected the usual breakdown of plays and strategies. But instead, Deion Sanders walked into the room with a storm written all over his face. The tension was so thick that even the reporters went quiet. After a deep breath, Deion looked straight into the cameras and, with a voice heavy with emotion, said, "I don't know how much longer I have to do this with my boys. It's slipping away from me and it breaks my heart." The room gasped. Fans watching live were stunned, their timelines instantly flooding with clips of the moment. But before the press could ask follow-up questions, Deion went further, adding, "Sometimes I feel like Travis listens to me more than my own sons do. That's the truth." The words hit like a hammer. Reporters erupted, shouting questions. Flashes from cameras lit the room, and within minutes, the clip went viral. Back at home, the family's reaction was explosive. Cheddar sat in disbelief, replaying the video over and over, shaking his head. "He really said that to the whole world. Two strangers before saying it to us." Shiloh's reaction was even harsher. Pacing the room, he yelled, "That's it. I'm done. If he wants to coach Travis more than us, let him. I'll go where I'm wanted, not where I'm compared." Their mother, on the phone, tried to calm them, but her voice cracked with frustration. "This isn't coaching anymore. This is tearing you apart." Travis, meanwhile, was blindsided. He hadn't even been at the press conference, but suddenly his phone buzzed nonstop with texts, mentions, and notifications. His name was trending, and fans were accusing him of stealing Deion's loyalty from his sons. Walking into practice the next day, he was met with icy stares from some teammates. One even muttered under his breath, "Teacher's pet." Unable to take it anymore, Travis pulled Deion aside. "Coach, this has gone too far. I respect you, but I can't be the reason your family falls apart." Deion's eyes softened for the first time in weeks. "Travis, don't blame yourself. You're a gift. But my sons, they're my blood. They don't understand that what I'm trying to give them comes from love, not favoritism." Travis, voice trembling, replied, "Then you need to tell them that before it's too late. Because right now, they don't believe it." The situation spiraled when a prominent sports commentator, known for his fiery takes, released a segment titled "Prime Time or Family Time." In it, he declared Deion Sanders is at risk of losing his legacy, not because of his coaching, but because of his failure as a father. The clip went viral, striking a nerve with millions. Fans debated fiercely in the comments, some defending Deion, others echoing the harsh critique. In the locker room, teammates whispered constantly. The once united team was fractured. Rumors swirled that some players considered transferring if the drama didn't settle. Coaches were struggling to keep practices productive as emotions overshadowed focus. The air was thick with tension, and every misstep on the field seemed amplified by the off-field chaos. Then came the unexpected twist: an anonymous letter posted online, allegedly from someone close to the family. The letter accused Deion of neglecting his role as a father in pursuit of fame, claiming that he had forgotten the quiet moments that build trust. It read, "You can't be both primetime and dad at the same time without losing one." Fans were stunned, and the internet became a battlefield of speculation. Who wrote the letter? Was it a family member? A close friend? Theories flew in every direction, with some even pointing fingers at Cheddar or Shilo. When confronted about the letter, Cheddar denied involvement but admitted to feeling the pain described. "Whoever wrote it, they're not wrong," he said quietly to a friend. Shiloh, however, fanned the flames. "Maybe it's time the world knows what we deal with." Maybe it's time everyone sees Prime for who he really is at home. Those words, once leaked, became headlines, leaving the family even more divided. The tension finally boiled over at a private family gathering meant to mend wounds. It began calmly, with Deion trying to apologize. "I've made mistakes, I admit it. But I love you. Everything I do is because I want you to succeed." But Shiloh, unwilling to let go, fired back. "Love doesn't feel like competition. Love doesn't feel like being second to someone who isn't even your son," Cheddar added. "We don't need prime time at home, Dad. We need you." Tears welled in Deion's eyes, but instead of softening, his pride fought back. "You think this world will hand you anything without discipline? I had to fight for everything I've got. I don't push you. I don't push you because I want to control you. I push you because I don't want you to fail." His voice cracked. But his sons weren't moved. Travis, who had been sitting silently in the corner, finally spoke. "Maybe they don't need you as coach right now. Maybe they just need you as their dad." The room fell silent. Even Deion, for once, had no words. The weight of Travis's statement hung heavy, cutting deeper than any argument before. Outside that gathering, the world kept watching. Fans debated endlessly. Clips from the family meeting somehow leaked, sparking outrage. "This is worse than reality TV." One comment read, "It's heartbreaking." Another said, "This is what happens when family and football collide," just as things seemed like they couldn't spiral further. Yet another twist arrived. Rumors began swirling that one of the sons was seriously considering walking away, not just from the team, but from the family spotlight entirely. Whispers hinted at private meetings with other coaches, potential transfer options, and even talk of taking a break from football altogether. The uncertainty left fans hanging on every update, desperate to know what would happen next. Would the Sanders family break apart permanently under the crushing weight of public scrutiny? Or would they find a way to mend the fractures before it was too late? As emotions ran higher than ever, one thing was certain: this drama was far from over. And the next move could change everything. The rumors about one of Deion's sons leaving the program hit harder than any opponent ever could. Social media lit up with speculation, and fans were convinced it was Shiloh who had already packed his bags. Others argued it might be Cheddar, tired of the pressure and constant comparisons. The uncertainty only fueled the frenzy. Primetime's family collapse trended worldwide. And the sports world had never seen a saga like this. Behind the scenes, Deion was unraveling. Close friends revealed he spent sleepless nights in his office staring at game film he couldn't focus on. His mind wasn't on strategies or opponents anymore, was on the fear of losing his sons, not to the NFL, but to resentment. What if I push too hard? What if they don't forgive me? He muttered to himself during one late-night meeting, his assistants watching helplessly. Meanwhile, Travis Hunter was fighting his own battle, caught between admiration for Deion and loyalty to his teammates. He confided to a friend, "I feel like no matter what I do, I lose. If I play great, they'll say I'm the favorite. If I hold back, they'll say I'm not loyal. How am I supposed to win?" Fans online began to sympathize with him, noting how unfairly he had been dragged into the family war. But others continued to blame him, calling him the wedge that split the Sanders family. The breaking point came during a high-profile game, broadcast live across the nation. Tensions on the field were impossible to hide. After a botched play, Cheddar and Travis exchanged heated words visible to everyone watching. Cameras zoomed in as the quarterback and receiver argued, their faces twisted with frustration. Commentators gasped. "This is not just a football issue, folks." You can feel the family drama spilling onto the field. After the game, the locker room erupted. Shiloh slammed his locker shut, shouting, "This isn't football anymore. It's a circus." Cheddar snapped at his father, "Are you happy now? This is what happens when you play favorites." Travis, unable to hold back, finally yelled, "Stop blaming me for everything. I didn't ask to be part of your family issues." The room fell into chaos, with teammates watching in stunned silence. Deion, his voice breaking, shouted over the noise. "Enough. You think I don't feel the weight of this? You think I don't see the cracks? I'm trying to give you everything I never had." But instead of silence, his words were met with Shiloh's cold retort. "Maybe we don't want what you're giving." The next day, fans were left reeling as anonymous sources leaked that a heated family meeting had ended with one son walking out, slamming the door behind him. Speculation soared. Was it Shiloh? Was it Cheddar? No one knew for sure, and the mystery only deepened the drama. Then came the most unexpected twist of all. During a surprise press event, Travis Hunter stepped up to the podium, not Deion, not the sons, but Travis. With cameras flashing, he delivered a statement that shocked everyone. "I respect Coach Sanders. He's been like a father to me. But I don't want to be the reason this family falls apart. I've made a decision to step back for now, so they can figure things out as a family." The room went silent. Fans were stunned. Some praised Travis for his maturity, while others accused Deion of driving away the very star he had put on a pedestal. Reporters scrambled to analyze what it meant for the program, for the Sanders family, and for Deion's legacy back at home. Deion sat in silence, the weight of Travis's decision crushing him. His sons, watching the statement replay on television, were left speechless. For the first time, they realized the impact their family drama had on someone who had only ever wanted to play football. That night, something shifted. Cheddar broke the silence, telling his father quietly, "We never wanted you to choose between us and Travis. We just wanted to feel like your sons came first." Shiloh, still hurt but less fiery, added, "We don't hate him, Dad. We just hate feeling like we're second to him." Deion, his pride stripped away, finally spoke from the heart. "I don't have forever with you. Every moment I get as your coach and your father, I treasure it. Maybe I've gone about it the wrong way. Maybe I let my fear come out as pressure. But hear me now, no one, not Travis, not football, not even Primetime himself, comes before you. You are my legacy." Tears filled the room. The walls of pride, anger, and miscommunication began to crack. The road to healing would not be easy, and fans wondered whether it was too late for the family to fully mend. But for the first time in months, there was a glimmer of hope. Still, questions lingered. Would Travis return? Would the sons truly forgive their father? Would the program survive the chaos, or would this drama mark the end of Deion's coaching era? Emotions ran high, fans were divided, and the world waited for the next chapter in the Sanders family's saga. And as the cameras continued to follow every move, one thing became clear: this was no longer just about football. It was about love, legacy, and whether a family built under the brightest lights could survive the shadows that came with it. And so the story ends. But not really, because this saga is far from over. Deion Sanders, a man who has lived his entire life under the spotlight, now finds himself in the middle of the most personal and public battle of all: a fight for his family, his legacy, and the love of his sons. The drama with Cheddar, Shiloh, and the unexpected role of Travis Hunter has left fans speechless, divided, and hungry for answers. Will Deion's heartfelt promises be enough to rebuild the trust he's lost? Will his sons find the strength to forgive? Or will the cracks continue to widen until there's no going back? And what about Travis? Will he return to the fold, or has the weight of being the favorite pushed him too far away? Fans everywhere are buzzing. Emotions are running high, and the future of the Sanders family feels more uncertain than ever. One thing is clear: this isn't just about football anymore. It's about whether love can survive the pressure of legacy, pride, and the spotlight. And now it's your turn to join the conversation. What do you think will happen next? Will Deion's sons stay by his side, or will the family finally break apart? Should Travis return, or is it better for him to walk away from the chaos? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear every prediction, every opinion, and every wild theory. If you've been hooked by this roller coaster of emotions, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on this unbelievable drama. Because trust us, this story is still unfolding, and the next twist could be the biggest one yet. could be the biggest one yet.